Hi everyone. In the previous video, we've imported our first Spring application and we got the white label error even though our application started because we haven't added any controllers in there. So in this video, we'll create a simple REST controller class and we are gonna run our application again. And before that, let's talk about what REST controller does here. REST controller is a class that handles HTTP requests. HTTP means Hypertext Transfer Protocol. These are nothing but a way for clients such as web browser or mobile apps to communicate with the server. The most common HTTP methods are GET, POST, PUT, DELETE. So it means if we type localhost colon port number in any browser after running our Spring application, REST controller class takes the request from us and generate response because REST controller handles HTTP requests. So if your goal is to create any application that responds to HTTP request, then having a REST controller class is necessary for you. Okay, now let's go to coding part. This is the error we've seen in the previous video. Let's open our IDE now. And if our application is currently running, stop it. To stop the application, you need to click on this red button. And now you have to create a REST controller class. Further, right click on the package, new, class. You should give a name to the class. Let's say demo REST controller. Click on finish. So here's our demo REST controller. And now we are going to write a simple code that returns hello world. We'll start with annotation @REST controller. We can see some kind of error here, which means we need to import REST controller. For that, simply keep your cursor over the annotation and click on import REST controller, which means we are bringing REST controller annotation into scope from that Spring Framework package. And now I'll create a method here. Let's say public string say hello. And I'll just return hello world. And above this method, you need to set up a get mapping @get mapping /. You also need to import this because if you declare this annotation above this method, it specifies that this method should handle HTTP GET request. So you need to declare get mapping above the method. So that's the coding part for the REST controller. Let's save this code, Ctrl S. And now let's run our application. Right click, run as Spring Boot app. It started up and running. You can see here. And now let's go to our web browser and reload the page. See, we are getting our hello world response now.